You know how people say you'll never forget your wedding night? They're right. I'll never forget mine. Not because of love or passion, but because I stood alone in a hotel suite, still in my tux, watching my wife's phone light up with a text from a name I thought we buried a long time ago. I'm outside. Are you sure about this? The name? Tyler, her ex, the same guy who cheated on her, the same guy who ghosted her for 2 years, the same guy she swore she'd never speak to again. And now, she was replying, "Yes, I can't do this. I'm sorry." She didn't even text me. She left her vows on the altar, left our marriage in its cradle, and a week later, she married him. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you what led up to the moment I realized my wedding night was a lie. Looking back, there were signs, like how she always hesitated when we talked about the future, or how she kept photos of her and Tyler on a hard drive for memory's sake. I remember the night I bought the ring. It sat in my drawer for 3 weeks, not because I didn't love her, but because something in me whispered, "Don't." But I silenced that voice. I told myself I was just scared, that every couple had a past, and that I was her future now. When I finally proposed, she cried, big, dramatic tears. She said yes so fast, I barely got the question out. Everyone said, "She's so lucky to have you." Funny. No one ever asked if I was lucky to have her. Planning the wedding was supposed to bring us closer. Instead, it felt like I was planning a party for someone else. She wasn't excited, she was distracted, always on her phone, always stepping out to take a quick call, always telling me, "Relax, not everything has to be perfect." One night, I caught her scrolling through old messages, and I recognized the layout. It was an archived chat app she used to use with Tyler. When I asked, she shrugged. I was just curious. You can't be jealous of the past. And I wanted to believe her, so I told myself I was overthinking. But on the night of her bachelorette party, she didn't come home. Said her phone died. Said she crashed at her friend's place. I didn't push. I didn't want to be that guy, the one who didn't trust his fiancée a week before the wedding. Now, I wish I had. The day of the wedding, she looked stunning, like something out of a movie. My hands were shaking when I saw her walk down the aisle, not because of nerves, but because something deep in my chest felt off. She smiled for the crowd. She said her vows with the right amount of emotion. She kissed me like she meant it, but her eyes, they never settled. They kept scanning the room, like she was looking for someone, and now I know who. At the reception, she danced with her father, with her cousins, even with my uncle, but not with me. I thought it was just chaos, too many guests, too much going on. But when it was finally time for our first dance, she said her dress was uncomfortable, said her heels hurt, said, "Can we skip it?" And I, the fool in love, said yes. After the last toast, she said she needed a moment alone. Something about needing to freshen up, maybe change into something more comfortable. I waited, and waited, and waited. 10 minutes turned into 30. 30 turned into panic. I knocked on the bridal suite door. No answer. I called her phone, straight to voicemail. Then I saw her purse on the table, and beside it, her phone, unlocked, buzzing. That's when I saw the message. "I'm outside. Are you sure about this?" And her reply, "Yes. I can't do this. I'm sorry." It didn't register right away. I just stood there, tux still on, cake still untouched, guests still drinking and laughing downstairs. And she was gone. The guests thought she got cold feet. Some whispered that I must have done something. Others assumed it was nerves. No one knew the truth. I didn't even tell my parents. I just said, she left. They looked at me like I was the one who broke it. I spent the night in that hotel suite, alone, still wearing my tux, staring at a ring I no longer had a use for. The next few days were a blur, family calling, vendors demanding answers, people asking for photos from a wedding that didn't really happen. And then, 7 days later, I saw the post, a picture of her in a white dress, different venue, different man. Tyler. The caption, "Sometimes love finds its way back." It didn't feel like heartbreak. It felt like humiliation, public, raw, final. People think heartbreak looks like tears, screaming, throwing things. Mine looked like silence, like forgetting to eat, like staring at my phone, hoping for an explanation that would never come. I deleted our photos, put away the wedding suit, returned the gifts. But the questions stayed. Was it ever real? Did she love me at all? Was I just a placeholder until he wanted her back? Therapy helped. So did time. But what really helped was realizing her betrayal had nothing to do with my worth. It had everything to do with hers. She chose comfort over honesty. She chose familiarity over loyalty. And she chose him over a life she promised me. I used to replay that night in my head, wondering what I could have done differently. Maybe if I had danced with her more. Maybe if I'd asked more questions. Maybe if I hadn't trusted so blindly. But that's the thing about trust. You give it. It's not something you should have to fight for. She left me on our wedding night and married her ex a week later. But now I see that as a blessing, because I don't want to spend my life wondering where she is, what she's doing, or who she's texting. I want a partner, not a runner. So yes, it hurt, it gutted me, but it also freed me. And somewhere out there, there's someone who won't walk away when things get real, who won't treat loyalty like an option. And when I find her, our first dance, I won't be standing alone.